Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for querying purchase and price of this watch or any you see on the channel or our website. Email me at tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the Richard Mille RM5. Launched in 2004, it was the first simple three-hand date Richard Mille automatic designed to convey the lore and legend of Richard Mille with the distinctive tonneau form and ergonomics in a timepiece less cluttered and complicated. And this timepiece is universally wearable with a width from 9 to 3 of approximately 37.5 millimeters, a lug-to-lug span of a compact 45 millimeters, and then a thickness of 11.5 millimeters, which actually makes it thinner than a Rolex Daytona, so it is deceptively slim. Throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it fits better than a glove. As you can see, a rose gold and rubber gauntlet with a curved case back that arcs around the wrist, fitting perfectly. It stands secure, and though wearable on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, it has an outsized personality that would look just fine on a tree trunk forearm. The timepiece in rose gold does feel substantial, and the strap, let's take a look at hardware and software, is nicely made for sporting purposes. As you can see, the flank of the strap as it abuts the case echoes the hollow of the case with the relieved portion, creating a little bit of a depth. It's an all satin finish, natural vulcanized rubber with louver style vents inspired by automotive imagery. You can see that the timepiece features a simple rose gold pin buckle with polish and satination, handsome attention to detail, and a titanium spline screw, much like those used to assemble both the bezel and the movement. We'll talk a little bit about those in a moment. The case is handsomely finished with polished bevel that runs the perimeter of the bezel as well as the case back, vertical satin finish on the flanks, which are somewhat inboard, as the watch is designed to look a little bit like the skeleton of a building or the space frame of a car brought from the inside out. You can also see the structural columns that house the spline screws themselves. Those are titanium, the case is rose gold, the bezel is satin finished vertically, and as you can see, it is flush with the sapphire, which is both cambered and shaped over the dial. Now there's a second sapphire on which the printed numerals, as well as the frame for the date and the RM005 branding, silk screened, inboard of a carbon fiber flange that bears the applique indices holding the superluminova. Now the watch includes hacking or stop seconds. Just make sure we're not in the date change danger zone, and in fact we were. You have that hacking seconds function, and then you also have a quick set so you can rapidly cycle the date. And you'll note that the date is actually a skeletonized wheel that's sort of backlit by a pale panel inside the aperture for the date. And the movement itself dominates the dial. As you can see, the base plate of the RM005 caliber, it's made of titanium and it's based on a Vaucher or Parmigiani family of companies. Twin mainspring barrel automatic architecture, but it's heavily customized for Richard Mille. It's adjusted in 5 positions, which is the high horology standard and also what's used on chronometers. 32 joules, it beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's made entirely of titanium to reduce the sprung mass. It features a rotor that's unidirectional winding for efficiency, and then features these little white gold winglets, which can be moved in or out to change the polar moment of the rotor, and thus its winding efficiency less if you want to avoid wearing out the mechanism and you're very active, or if you're a desk diver like me, you're probably going to want to maximize the polar moment to create a vigorous winding action. 55-hour automatic winding power reserve, twin barrels, so you don't have a big torque drop off after 24 or 48 hours, can more or less maintain reasonable amplitude as it beats away at 28.8. Note the free-sprung architecture designed to make the movement more shock tolerant. Also note 4 corners, 4 rubber donuts between the base plate and the case itself. So there are those isomer, or elastomer, I should say, isolators that separate the case from the base plate. The movement is technically sophisticated, custom finished, though it is Vaucher based, and you can see the little Vaucher star underneath the balance. Also note the custom use of clear sapphires, such as the sapphire atop the balance staff to give the watch more of a grayscale techno-industrial cool. An interesting watch because it's 100 meters water resistant. The later RM5s and the successor model, the RM10, are 50 meters water resistant, so these early cases with a little feather in their cap and greater swimmability. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Richard Mille RM5. And I'm back with the Richard Mille RM5.